Good morning.
Oh, it looks good. We've got nice little perfectly sized squiggly lines on the recording device.
That's excellent.
For
both of us, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Oh, my God.
You know, it's funny with this equipment. I do, still do radio. And we have problems periodically. It's like there's ghosts in the machine. The police were right. Mm-hmm. It's a strange deal. But everything's all good. How are you this fine morning?
Doing lovely. Oh, my God. We had no spring, and then we went right into winter, and then it's been just weird. So, I'm not. You never know what each day is going to be.
You mean right into summer?
Yeah, right into
winter.
summer. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But obviously not enough coffee. Just trying to cram too many things into the day.
Yeah.
I got to the office at 7 this morning. I normally don't do that. And I got up really early this morning. And, cup of coffee, grabbed my scissors, went out. I'm outside deadheading roses, and it's foggy, and it's silent, so it must have been too thick for planes, because depending on which direction you're coming through, I can hear planes. And all I heard was birds.
Oh, cool.
No traffic, no cars, no parents screaming at their kids to get up, ready or out the door. All it was birds, a cup of coffee, and I'm puttering in my gardens, and it was absolutely lovely.
So wait, has the last day of school occurred?
No. There's still several days left to go. The seniors had their last day, but the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors are still at it for a few more days. And it's just, I know I'm watching this, and I've got this picture of my kid that we had dug up a while ago, and I never put away. I just, I've got a china cabinet, and it's got doors with the little slats, the like window panes. Mm-hmm. So I just tucked it in there, and it's been sitting there for several years now. I think I pulled it out for her 8th grade graduation or something like that. And I keep looking at that little peanut.
Yeah.
And, honestly, she's still little because she never got that tall, but still.
Yeah.
It's just sort of weird. She doesn't have that too much long, and she's off into the world. And I was like,
College.
Mm-hmm.
College is next.
And I just think, did I do this shit right? You don't know. You know what I mean? Oh, my God. What sort of baggage have I handed her already?
Oh, God.
Because it just seems like half the stuff we talk around is obviously people have
She'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
At length.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Because, we honestly, what we end up talking about every week is just usually a stack of people's baggage.
Oh, that's true.
That some, there's usually a reason why someone got naked somewhere and did something asinine.
But we never, ever really know what.
No, yeah.
And we can only theorize.
Yeah,
Well, being that the warm weather has hit us, we've been talking about the bedazzled boob trend where people go topless, but they do body paint and,
Yeah, we had stick-on gems that you could put around. We might still have some, around your nipples and decorate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some of it I look at and go, ooh. And other parts I look at and go, well, you need the right size boob for that. If you're too saggy, you're going to lose some of the design.
Well, butts were feeling left out. So now we've got glitter butts, bedazzled butts, actually. So this is the new craze. And literally they are, you can do a bikini bottom if you want, but people are decorating their butts now.
So they're taking the same glue that you use for pasties.
Yep.
They're going down to Joann's Fabrics and getting the little stick-on gems and attaching them to their rear.
Yeah. Yeah. The naughty...
You know what? I bet it looks really good on some folks.
Basically, most people are basically just making their own customized sparkly bikini.
Yeah. But you can't... you just have to stand in it. See, I have gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, can I sit down while I'm doing this?
Yeah, that would be, talk about uncomfortable.
You'd have to I'm sure it looks lovely because I always thought about body painting. You can't sit in that stuff.
No, didn't think about that. You always think about the practical side of stuff.
I really am a highly practical human being, but I'm sure, honestly, I think it probably looks spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
Although, unlike other things, this is something that you're going to need help applying.
Well,
Generally, one's buttocks are not in one's. I mean, there are some folks that work for like Cirque du Soleil, and there's probably some gymnasts out there, some other folks that may, in fact, be able to bejewel their own fannies.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not going to be too many people. So and if it's someone that you're intimate with and you're bejeweling one's butt, at what point do you just get too turned on and then you never finish the bejeweling?
An unfinished work of art on one's ass could be disconcerting. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like a statue that's, either broken or never got finished. Something like that.
I know. You look at all, you're just like, someone did all that work. And I wonder if anyone thought, like 3,000 years ago, someone's going to be looking at this without any arms or a head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, their work lives on. That's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
I don't think the bejeweled butt. Well, maybe if you take a photo of it and put it on the internet. I mean, the internet
that's
is forever.
What they're doing. Instagram, big time. So, have you ever heard of the game Bop It?
Is that the large?
No, I know what you're thinking.
It's not.
Yeah, no.
It's not like a tiny little hit the thing that pops up. The adult critter.
Okay. You're thinking of Whack-A-Mole.
Whack-A-Mole.
Which problems in life seem to be like that. No, Bop It Toys, it's a line of audio games where the play consists of following a series of commands issued through speakers on the toy.
Oh, yeah, there's like different buttons and things you have to like twist and turn. I think we had one, and I think my daughter put batteries in it for like 5 minutes and went,
No. Yeah.
Well, see, I'm not a game person. So, mom, play a game with me. I'm like,
no.
I don't give a crap. I'm honestly, much past Candyland. Yeah.
Not so much?
No, not so much.
Well, there is a company called Nataku. They have put an X-rated spin on Bop It. So now they have Flick and Jerk. And yeah. And this is, instead of the bopping, pulling, and twisting, you're going to be able to take on different sexual activities. It has a dildo, a butt plug, a vibrator, and a flashlight.
Okay.
Do you like it? I think it's funny.
I think it's going to be funny. The name needs an awful lot to be desired.
Flick and Jerk?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you're going off of popping, you could just call it Fuck It or something.
Fuck It. That's true.
Or Sex It or something or whatever. Flick.
Yeah.
I
think Fuck It's the best. That's a favorite. Yeah, I like that.
Maybe somebody's already trademarked it.
Probably. I'm sure fuckit.com is unavailable. So remember how we talked about, I was telling a story about on one of the recent shows, and you said, hey, there's certain things I never want near my bits, right? Well, they're literally this week, we have a story called 5 Things You Should Never Let Anywhere Near Your Penis. And I thought, did Colleen write this? Because this sounds like Colleen speaking. Right?
Yeah, there's probably not so. I'm sure that I am not the only person who doesn't want certain things near certain parts of my body.
No, it's just none of us have ever said it out loud on tape.
No, there is that. Okay.
But yes, we'd all agree with you, I think. Or most people, except for the people that we talk about because they try shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are warnings from doctors saying, hey, these 5 things can have very specific, quote, dangerous consequences. Number 1, pearls. And I'm not talking about the pearls dangling from your neck while you're giving a blowjob. What I'm talking about here is the act of implanting pearls into your penis to make it textured.
Bumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, once folks started putting things under their skin on their face, I realized that they would probably go. I mean, this is not a new thing, but I mean, you're just talking. I mean, it's going to be an irritant. I mean, you're just, oh, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I have tattoos. I have my ears pierced. But, and I've seen people with full body works, and I've seen people with different things that look good. But there is a line, and one of them would be implantables for me. Another one would be the people the branding. I try, I'm a pretty open person. I try and wrap my brain around things.
I know.
You know that.
Yeah.
I cannot, in any way, shape, or form, wrap my brain around how would ever occur to someone to do it, much less do it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's out there.
Oh, yeah.
So this thought process did happen.
Well, the surgery's risky.
Confuses the shit out of me.
It's risky. And then there's infection, and you can also damage the urethra and heighten chances of, yes, say it with me, erectile dysfunction. Because you fucked with the functionality by putting shit that shouldn't be there. There you go. Next up is tattoos on your penis. They're talking about infection, skin damage, and all of that, but you could get what's called priapism. And that's when blood fails to exit the penis, leaving it, yes, painfully erect for prolonged periods of time, which is what they always warn against on the Viagra commercials and Cialis and all that.
Oh, I can't quite see the connection there because I'm not a medical professional, but I'll go with it.
I did actually speak to a guy who owned a tattoo studio who was completely covered in ink. And this was like in the mid-90s. So this was before the tattooing was...
Yeah.
Whatever. And he claims that he did a lightning bolt on his own member and that it took months to do because, you have to do it. Well, I can think of many reasons why. While riveting, I was still very, very grossed out. Next up is whitening treatment. We've talked about this.
Yeah. No. It's chemicals near delicate tissues. No.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, and it really has highly racist tensions to it, which also drives me insane.
Highly
racist tendencies.
Oh.
If you're talking about bleaching body parts and stuff like that, you're saying dark is bad, and that just...
Yep. So hair removal creams. So they're talking about, men who are braving the Brazilian, which I'd never heard it called that, and I laughed when I read it. But the guys that don't want to get waxed go for the creams, but the creams just aren't good. They're strong enough to break down, the hair, but they can also irritate sensitive areas, just like you said. Last up, your laptop. Because they get hot. And you know how they talk about guys that are trying to have babies should wear boxers?
Let the boys out.
Yeah.
Free, let them be cooler, stuff like that. And according to something I just saw, eat seafood.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I'll just put it out there, but we'll link it. But it pretty much says that the couples that eat seafood 2 or more times a week conceive faster than couples that do not.
Yep.
So,
somebody's texting
I'm boinging.
Somebody's texting you.
I'll have to go turn that off.
The
good thing I have like the 25-foot cord here on the thing here.
Oh, yeah.
I can wander over.
That's why you get the long mic, because I never move when we do the show. So we've talked about some of the horrible dating trends. There's yet another one that's emerged and been labeled. This one's called R-bombing. Have you heard of R-bombing yet? We've talked pretty extensively about ghosting, which is the idea of people just flat for no, reason just completely disappear. R-bombing is when a person you like reads your messages, but they never respond. And you know that it's been delivered and read because a lot of our phones will tell us, especially, and it's...
Yeah, I see the delivered. I know a lot of folks have turned off the red thing because that's just... it's like sometimes it's just a piece of information or this or that, or you get distracted, But, never responding?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so they did a poll from a company called One Condoms commissioned it. And they said, online dating is just a minefield. And 62% of the respondents said they had been victims of the worst dating practices out there, such as ghosting or whatever. And, there's new dating apps that come out constantly, and each one promises you that great experience, but it doesn't change the awful tendencies of rude humans.
No, they're just, I think it's definitely a way to just intensify the assholeness. Now you immediately know to some extent that you've been, Lana was like, okay, have they called me back? Going through the phone number. Was I not home because there wasn't voicemails and stuff like that? It was a much slower, redirection. But I don't know if our brains have adjusted to immediate rejection. You know what I mean? You're still instead of just going, well, okay, they're lost and moving on. You're still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never had to. I was never really been a thing. I mean, for me, I was not a person who dated a lot or going through there. It just wasn't. It was a definitely late bloomer. So,
Yeah.
but I think I don't know how my brain would function, in electronic dating world. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean,
it's much slow. I don't know.
it's been 9 years since I met my guy, and even that was a little freaky. And I remember being surprised, not realizing that Match.com had the chat feature, and I was in there, looking around, and this guy popped up, and it was like, oh Jesus, I didn't know you could do that. And people could see each other online, and all this kind of different stuff. I was creepy. So this is interesting. So a girl got hammered and peed herself in bed. And her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, keeps using the story to shame her and just using it against her, just really being an asshole. So she got really tired of it. This girl is from Oklahoma. Her name's Callie Berry. And she
Seriously?
said, yeah,
Okay.
Callie Berry.
Okay.
Yeah, no joke. She he kept publicizing the embarrassing experience. So she went and tweeted this. I drank too much beer about a month and a half ago and peed myself. I'm tired of my ex blackmailing me with it, so now everyone knows. It completely solved the problem. Ever since she shared it, the tweet has been liked 262,000 times. And people have been like tweeting support.
Been there, done that. Whatever's going through there.
Yep. And another one said, now I know why he's your ex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you, we talked about gender reveal parties and whatever. I personally, and maybe this is because I'm a childless by choice person.
Pardon me. Excuse me.
You okay? Cool. Because I'm childless by choice, I feel like so much of the kid stuff is completely over the top these days. And I mean, people just didn't, I'm not going to go so far as to say I had the complete seen and not heard treatment,
Yeah.
but I mean, children were not put on the pedestals that they are today. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I can sort of see where I do a little bit. I mean, if you glance around, I might have a picture or two of my kid in my office.
There's a couple. Yeah.
But, you always want more than you had for your kids. So
Yeah.
it obviously has hit a point where how much more is there possible?
There's that. There's that.
The point is to have your kid have it better than you. I mean, at least that's what I was taught.
Right.
I work so that you can do things differently than me or do what you want, stuff like that, especially with the way that, and to some extent, this country was, made. You came here, work hard so that your kids can do better. I mean, that's what I always thought.
I just think that
but I'm not exactly sure that doing everything for your kid, that the pendulum, maybe has, swung a little bit too much.
6-month birthday parties, inviting adults to every single, it's like, come on, like seriously. And
I had a month of birthday when I was 30, but I'm pretty sure the 5-year-old doesn't need it.
no. And plus, okay. So this is funny.
Okay.
And this could have been something, stealthily committed by someone like me who thinks that children have taken over the world in a bad way. This guy went and got a birthday cake made for his 2-year-old's birthday party. And it was very large blue letters spelling out her age, 2, right? But if you read it, from the top, it says 2, but if you flip it the other way, it looks like cunt. And it's like going viral, like on Reddit and stuff. I mean, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
There are really clever art, graphically thinking people that could do that, but I think it's pretty freaking hilarious. And one of the comments was, "Have you ever dealt with a 2-year-old?" That's pretty accurate.
Actually, I found that 2 was pretty boring. 3 and 4, oh my God, that was the, when she was younger, I could put the kid in a stroller, go for a walk around the lakes, do some stuff. As soon as she hit like 3 and 4, it was like, hey, what's this? Duck, I have to look at this tree. Hey, can we go to see it? I mean, every 5 milliseconds, it's what's this? Where you going? I'm like, It was exhausting. And that's when I started gaining all the damn weight because I couldn't go for a freaking walk anymore.
Oh, funny.
It was an amble. You couldn't get anywhere because they had to know everything, which was fine. I mean, I signed up for it, but I'm like, and it was such a switch too. I mean, I went from I can crash for 90 minutes, 2 hours while I'm in a stroller to I have to know what everything is at this exact right moment.
Well, and because I don't have one full time, I find that stage pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah, I mean,
for a few hours, it's a blast.
I wasn't unawares of it because I had several friends that had children before me. I mean, one friend's daughter looked at me one side and said, "I have to go to the bathroom," and she just put her hand up. I said, "Okay," and I took her. Another friend's little boys, asked another person, "I need help wiping." And, I let the one guy just sweat it out for a few moments, and then I yelled out, "Hey, can I come on?" Yeah, okay. Just another kid comes up to me, they just hand me something. I'm like, whatever. I mean, it just always did. And it was always, so like I said, none of this came as a shock to me. The joy of being an older parent is I got to see a lot of things and go, oh, okay. So nothing came at me too, unexpected.
Cool.
I liked that. I really, I'm more tired now, but I really liked not being so freaked out. I'm like, oh, I've seen this. It was good.
That's awesome.
It was a good thing. Mm-hmm.
We will throw this article up on the Great Northern Sex Cast page. It's called What Your Man's Sleeping Position Says About Your Sex Life. And it's a pretty, it's kind of interesting, but basically the big takeaway from this is, there's spooning. And spooning is controversial. Some people love it. A lot of people really hate it, which being that I like it,
I am a warm sleeper.
Okay.
There is sleeping, and there is cuddling, and there is sex. And these are three separate things, and they should not be attached to anything else. Sometimes, because I'm like, I am too... And then you have night sweats. Okay, so I'm like, too hot, too hot, too hot. Just too damned hot. I mean, it's cute, but you can't... I mean, honestly, I'll say I cannot fall asleep that way. I mean, there is just some... I mean, it is rare. It is rare. Too damned hot. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Got it. Mm-hmm. But the takeaway from this, I'm sure there's a lot of people that agree with you, is that there's the spooning, and there's the big spoon and the little spoon. So there's the outside spoon and the inside spoon, right? And basically, they're saying guys who like to be the little spoon tend to be more emotionally intelligent, whereas a lot of people say, "Oh, you're the pussy. Why would you let the girl wrap yourself around?" Because that is thought to be the protected. The protective role, whatever. But yeah, read the article. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of long, so we're not going to do the whole thing, but there you go. And just a real quick note, the Royal Wedding, they still have gear. I mean, it doesn't show any signs yet of being marked down to 90% off. People are still buying, yes, wait for it, Harry and Meghan condoms and swimwear.
I saw the swimwear and some other clothing, and I'm just like, that is one of the most unattractive things I've ever seen in my life, to have a tank swimsuit with their faces on it. If I'm thinking about the same picture, it was like, oh my God.
And they're cute people, but I just don't want to wear them.
Oh my God. Can you imagine
the
baby watch that's going to be happening now?
Oh God. Oh yeah.
I mean, mind you, the other ones we got an heir and you got an heir and two spares. So, I mean, they're fine. They're not over that. But if you don't think they're,
The speculation, though, is that they will probably get going because he's 33 and she's 36. And that he says that he's wanted children for quite some time. So there is speculation that they'll probably go pretty quickly with that. And not because they have to produce an heir, just because they want to.
They want a family. And they seem like folks that would want a family.
I think it's cute. So there's this chain called Cost Cutters, okay? And they have this try it before you buy it policy. But they had a sign next to, and because of this, they put up a sign next to two items. One was bandages and the other one was condoms. And they put, "Do not try this on what was it? It says,
Is this like a drugstore? I'm
yeah,
confused. Okay.
yeah. And basically they're like, do not try these on before purchase, the condoms, like, right. But what that was actually for was for the bandages. So everybody's all confused going, okay, everything else is allowed to be tried on, and they feel that they need to point out, like, not to try on the condoms and the bandages. And then other people just got confused, and they're like, what kind of sex do they think people are having if they need to put the bandages next to the I mean, it's just like this whole big thing going online right now.
You know, I've been to, like, you got Target and CVS and Walgreens and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure in every store that I've been at, the bandages and the condoms are way far away in the stores.
Not here. Not in this particular case.
I certainly hope they release interesting bandages. I have to admit, I love a novelty Band-Aid.
Do you?
One that look like bacon or have like
bacon. I haven't seen those.
Or the ones that have like minions on them. Or then there's ones that just there's this weird design, stuff. I found Van Gogh bandages once with pictures of.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Where do you shop?
Oh, you find them like at Electric Fetus or Jim's Apple, the Apple thing down on 169. Oh, I love their pie. And, because they have all the candy, but they also have some novelty stuff. So they have some different pens, stuff like that. And or once with a little pirate, little
bacon
pirate
sounds
stuff.
Awesome.
But because they have a whole bacon section there. Just, they throw in a few non-candy items. Oh, they expanded, remodeled. It's really fun. There's a lot of construction going down there.
Yep.
So to exit, you have to make a right turn, but you have to like go down and you have to take the first bridge. It doesn't look like you can get back on, but you can. If not, you're like another 15 miles down the road.
And the name of the place again is?
It's Jim's Apple Farm. It's down on 169. It has all the candy in the world, all the soda in the world, and then they make really good pie. And then they also have a crap ton of puzzles, but I don't give a shit about puzzles. So, yeah.
But the pie. Go for the pie.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And the bacon bandages. Mm-hmm. Okay, this story was hand-picked for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, fantasy gifts here. Of course, there's the retail locations. But you guys have been known, and Liz does this, and she's awesome at it, the on-site party thing on occasion.
Yeah.
Just when, it's...
Yeah, not that big of a deal anymore. We're not even getting a lot of phone calls. I mean, we'll do them. Well, we can. I mean, if Liz is, free, we can, whip together a party for you. Yeah. We still do them. I think it's just sort of lost, especially with the online shopping and different things. And, we've got the 8 stores in the area. I think folks, there still are some folks that are a little freaked out about walking into a store. But for the most part, I just don't think we have folks that are, like I said, you can just go online.
Yeah. Well, there are still in-home only companies that do this. One of them is called Pure Romance. So this woman just became a Pure Romance consultant, and she texted her 18-year-old niece and said, I just saw that you had your 1-year anniversary with your boyfriend. So for your 18th birthday, I'm going to give you one product, your choice, my treat. The thread was published, went viral. Her mother found it funny. And I'm sure you can imagine there's a flurry of reactions spanning the gamut. What are your thoughts about an aunt offering a sex toy birthday gift for an 18-year-old? Go.
Well, there's all the context. You don't know the family and what's going through there. If mom thought it was funny, they obviously are a family that talks about things. And if she's had a 1-year boyfriend, who knows what's going on? And I get a lot of... I've gotten a lot of questions from younger folks that I know, and their parents know that they might ask me, something. And I always tell them that if I think there's anything, I love
Fredder.
But it just seems, there are things, I have nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. I sell sex toys, dildos, vibrators, all that for a living. Mm-hmm. But I think people need a little bit of privacy. I'm very, very big on that. Yeah. So I'm not sure, that I would want to know. That's my, that's the part that gets me.
What your niece would use?
Yeah.
Right.
I know an awful lot about a lot of people, so I tend to guard, people's privacy. I don't think I would want to know. And honestly, I think if the niece was to ask or something like that, who knows? Like I said, my mom has 7 grandchildren. At one point, they're all going to be old enough to wander through the warehouse. but I may not want. But I don't think I'll be there when they're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the part. I think that it's fun. It's cute. The person's a legal adult. Obviously, the family knows what's going on. Mom thinks it's funny, but it's a level of familiarity I don't particularly want to have with my nieces and nephews.
And well said. And Colleen, it's always interesting to see what your take is going to be on stuff.
I mean, am I going to be prudish about it? No, I couldn't possibly be hypocritical about that or it's going through there. But I just, I've said it before that what I know about my friends, sex lives is actually fairly vast because people will ask me questions and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
I am, a little bit honored that they trust me with that.
Yeah.
And I know enough after all these, years.
Sure.
Or enough to say, well, I don't know a lot about it, but I mean, honestly, the Planned Parenthood website or Scarlet Teen have amazing resources.
Yeah, you haven't mentioned Scarlet Teen in a long time. Tell everybody again what that is, because I think that's really cool.
It is a website that is based for teens and preteens with language and questions about sex, sexuality, the plumbing of body parts. I mean, everything in a way that speaks intelligently to folks of that age.
Yeah.
And I mean, I bookmarked it on every computer I had in my house. So in case my daughter was, didn't want to ask me a question, she could, find
and
it.
Did you tell her
it was
there?
I said it was there. Yeah. But I didn't, I never checked the browser history to see what was going through there, because, she wants has a question, go through there. And I learned about it from other parents and stuff like that. And I just thought it was an amazing site. But I'm also, the Planned Parenthood site has really the amount of stuff that I find running through my social media feeds from them about just actual true honest information about so many different things, health in general, not to mention just sexuality, has been spectacular. There are good sites out there, and I would say these are two of the best. Yeah.
So that's if you have teenagers, that's a great recommendation. And I know you really were impressed with it. So thanks for bringing it back up. All right. So airlines, I have to fly for business a lot, actually. And I really, for the most part, hate the experience. And not all of it is because it's not the airline's fault. It's, security things and all of that other kind of stuff. But I do think that airlines have become kind of just big assholes. I mean, to a great extent. I really think...
Well, it's like, how much you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
If you want collusion, I'd be going with airlines.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brutal.
It just, I don't understand... how you can, how you can treat people with so much contempt in general.
Yeah.
And but we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I need to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And I don't have 4 days to drive.
Right. Right.
And it's just, honestly, I can handle the crowding. I can handle, a bunch. I'm sort of I'm uncomfortable no matter what because I'm always curved forward. I'm too damn short for the seats. My feet dangle. So it's uncomfortable for me no matter what. Okay? I'm like a toddler in these goddamn things. I would gladly pay an extra $5 a ticket if they clean the plane.
Yeah. That's gross.
I feel, they just feel filthy.
Yeah.
I would love a cleaner plane.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm wider than most seats now. So I'm up close and personal with people. Fine. That's just how it's going to have to be. And I am only 5'3". And I don't know how anyone taller than me even remotely functions in an airplane.
Oh, Carl's 6'4".
I just don't understand.
And he's miserable.
Yeah. I just honestly clean it. Just
clean it.
Clean the plane.
They're experimenting with new seat materials that are antimicrobial and all this weird stuff. But yeah, no. Okay. So that part aside, I need to get my rant out, and I did. There was a recent, you might have seen some TV footage of this. It was pretty extraordinary. Drunk guy on a flight from Denver to Charleston, South Carolina. Completely out of control. Belligerent, groping at women, peed on a seat back. I mean, just awful. And
I'm wondering if they should just, I mean, if you're talking about stuff on flights, why don't they, I mean, how much money can they actually make on the booze to deal with the hassles like this?
Oh yeah. Well, and
I mean, maybe eliminating alcohol.
part of, oh God, no. But part of it was when they tried to cut them off, you know, and so anyway, you know,
2-drink limit on your plane. I know.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah.
That's probably fair.
You know, or so many hours, 1 drink per hour or something, or hour and 90 minutes.
They usually offer you one.
Yeah.
I've never had the opportunity unless you buy 2 at the...
Yeah. I mean, but you can press the button. They'll come, depending on what's going through there.
Yeah, I never move.
I can't,
Unless I have to pee, that's it. I just get in there and I'm just like, just get me there.
Well, I tend to get motion sick. So... There's nothing that gets you in. I usually book far enough advance. I will pay to choose my seat and all that because I need the aisle. Yeah. There is a 50-50 shot I'm going to puke on this plane. Yeah. Okay. Usually during certain turbulence or during landing. Landing tends to, my friends jokingly call it landing sickness. Mm-hmm. So I sit down. I immediately make sure that my barf bag, which I can use efficiently, people I have thrown up and people have not known I've thrown up, is immediately accessible. It's just the first thing I do. And if I'm traveling on my own and people see me doing that, putting on there, and I said, I've had people offer me the aisle seat. And I said, no, I'll have warning. I'll have warning. I don't just randomly go. If I'm going to be ill, I'll tell you. Yeah. And they'll get out of the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. So, and that's awesome. But not everybody's considerate on planes. I mean, I could go on for freaking days about this. Mm-hmm. But this story with the groping of the woman, and he got arrested, and I'm sure that this is going to be a very, very expensive fuck up for this guy because, they don't mess around with the fines and whatever goes on his record as far as the actual incident. I'm sure the fines are going to be debilitating and, it is what it is. But my question is it fair for the airline to be exposed, because they may be, to complaints, or held responsible for this man assaulting a woman? And that is very tough. What do you think?
Well, the thing is that, okay, they're there. You have a limited space. Now, if the guy was drunk before he got on, there's not too much... I don't think they're doing it.
They should not let him on.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, they should probably not let him on. But sometimes you don't know. People can be. But if it's a 5-hour, what was it, Denver to South Carolina? So what, 2.5 hour flight?
I don't know.
Something like that. If you serve the guy like 9 drinks during that time, I could see.
Then there's liability.
Because there's liability like in bars if you overserve someone.
True.
It's going through there. But then again. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm walking through, if I'm walking through Target and someone grabs my boob, is Target responsible for that?
Yeah.
But I think it might have to do with, there's a lot more circumstances than just blanket. You're in a place of business, and then that business was responsible for everything that happens in there.
Yeah.
That's obviously have a business, but still.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's another one. Handpicked for Colleen. Metropolitan Transport Authority, MTA in New York. Subway. Okay. They've had problems with, like everybody else, with sexual discrimination, sexual whatever. And then this spilled into what kind of ads can they sell and feature in the subways? What's offensive, what's not. So they bounced some ads from a company called Unbound, which featured colorful stylized paintings of dildos and vibrators. And they said, well, they violate our ad rules against obscenity. They fought back, and so they are going to be allowed to do something a little bit different. And they said, they can advertise erectile dysfunction, but they can't advertise pleasure devices.
It's always been very frustrating for me because these are legal products. Obviously cigarettes are and alcohol, and there's different rules and stuff on that. But, they've shown reasons for that in ages and stuff like that. But there's, depending on what's being advertised, if you can talk about erectile dysfunction, if you can talk about birth control, if you can talk about all people have to freak out over that. You should be able to, you should be able to show, for example, a non-body part, let's just, a sex toy.
Yeah.
In an ad, or talk about it, or, stuff like that. You don't say, hey, folks, come fuck with my toy. You don't say that.
Yeah.
It's going through there.
Yeah.
It's not like, McDonald's says, hey, come get fat with our food. There's a different way. There's ways of advertising it. I run across plenty of folks that won't take my ads or won't do something. Still do.
Another company, MTA. This was another one. There was an underwear company called Thinks, and it featured dripping egg yolks and split fruit. And people, they denied it, but then they ended up, after an outcry and a legal action, they ended up approving that stuff too.
Yeah, obviously that's sort of personally a little nauseating just thinking about it, but I think that's those are the underwear that hold urine, and then there's another one of them, and then their sister company, period underwear. Mm-hmm. It's going through there, and it's and I think a lot of this has to do to the fact that erectile, things that concern women mainly tend to be, whether it's our own personal bodies or whether it's products that we use, tend to be highly more policed than stuff for men. Yeah. Because, men's underwear ads with big old lumps, and erectile dysfunction and all this sort of stuff. Hey, they run that stuff, no problem at all. But birth control for women, or a sexual pleasure device, or, oh my God, underwear that, might hold urine when you're, people, fucking hypocrites.
Well, on that particular note, let's not be discriminatory in our advertising.
Sounds good to me.